Legendary Entertainment LLC, also known as Legendary Pictures or simply Legendary, is an American mass media and film production company based in Burbank, California, founded by Thomas Tull in 2000. The company has often collaborated with major studios including Warner Bros. Pictures, Universal Pictures, Sony Pictures, and Paramount Pictures, as well as streaming services such as Hulu and Netflix. Thomas Tull founded Legendary Entertainment with co-founders John Wascini, Jerry Clark, William Fay, and Scott Mendick. After raising $500 million from private equity firms, it was one of the first companies of its kind to pair major motion picture with major Wall Street private equity and hedge fund investors, including ABRY Partners, AIG Direct Investments, Bank of America, Capital Investors, Columbia Capital, Falcon Investment Advisors, and M/CC Venture Partners. Legendary Pictures Inc. was incorporated in 2005. It signed an agreement with Warner Brothers to co-produce and co-finance up to 40 films over 7 years. In 2010, Tull, Fidelity Investments, and Fortress Investment Group bought all the shares of the original investors. The buyout also included a $25 million investment by Orange Sky Golden Investment Entertainment. Following the transaction, Tull became the largest shareholder, thus enabling him to more easily direct the company's operations. Golden Harvest later sold its stake in the company for $30 million. In 2011, ASO Partners bought $40 million worth of shares of ASO. Partner Jim Bayer joined the company's board of directors. That same year, the company was reported to have been valued at more than $1 billion. In September 2011, Legendary Pictures Chief Creative Officer John Wascini was appointed to the new position of President and Chief Creative Officer of the parent company, Legendary Entertainment. William Fay left Legendary Pictures in September 2011. In December 2012, Waddell and Reed bought around 20% of Legendary shares for $443 million. And on July 10th, 2013, Legendary reached an agreement with Universal Pictures in which would market, co-finance, and distribute Legendary's films for 5 years straight, starting in 2014, the year that Legendary's similar agreement with Warner Bros. Expired. In October 2014, SoftBank bought $250 million in shares in Legendary Pictures for a 10% stake. The transaction increased the company's total value to around $3 billion. In 2014, Legendary acquired the television producer Asylum Entertainment, which made ESPN's 30 for 30 miniseries The Kennedys for $100 million, with Asylum Entertainment to continue operating as a separate company. On January 11th, 2016, Chinese conglomerate Wanda Group announced that it had concluded an agreement with shareholders to acquire Legendary Entertainment for $3.5 billion, making it the largest acquisition of an American media company by a Chinese firm. On March 2016, it was announced that John Jashini had decided on the heels of the sale to leave the company to establish Raintree Ventures, a media investment and advisory firm. On January 17th, 2017, it was announced that Tool had exited as Legendary Entertainment CEO. He was replaced by Senior Vice President of Wanda's Cultural Industry Group, Jack Gao, as interim CEO. Interim CEO. On October 17th, 2017, it was reported that Gao stepped down from his positions at Legendary Entertainment and Wanda Group. The registration comes an announcement by Wanda's chairman, Wang Jianwen. Earlier that year, that Wanda would refocus its investments into the Chinese domestic market in an attempt to actively respond to the call of the country. This in turn is thought to be a coincidence of the Chinese government banning Chinese banks from providing loans to Wanda Groups for foreign operations. It was intended to stop the firm's offshore acquisition plans. On December 5th, 2017, it was announced that Joshua Gord had been named as Legendary Entertainment CEO. On August 13th, 2018, following the box office failure of several films including Black Hat, Seventh Son, Steve Jobs, Crimson Peak, Warcraft, The Great Wall, Pacific Rim, Uprising, and Skyscraper. The distribution deal between Legendary and Universal ended with a new agreement was reached to return to Warner Bros. On December 2020, Variety and Deadline Hollywood reported that Legendary Entertainment financiers and talent with back-end deals were not pleased with Warner Media's multi-release plans and non-transparent intentions. Legendary was not given advanced notice of the multi-release decision, nor given a say in how Dune and Godzilla vs. Kong would be distributed. The studio planned to have discussions with Warner Bros. Regarding a more generous deal. However, legal action was considered a few weeks ago. A few weeks later, Deadline reported that the film could keep its HBO Max release only if Warner Bros. Matched Netflix $250 million bid. Congratulations. I don't care. In January 2021, The Hollywood Reporter revealed that the legal battle was averted due to Legendary and Warner Media nearing an agreement to keep their films simultaneously released. On April 30th, 2021, the company hired Lion-Tree Advisors to explore possible deals, including the possibility of merging with a SPAC, making acquisitions, or finding partners. On July 22nd, 2021, it was announced that Legendary is working for a merger instead of a SPAC. On January 31st, 2022, a minority stake in Legendary was sold to Apollo Global Management, with Wanda still remaining the majority owner. Hey, Kelly? Hey, Kelly? Hey, Kelly? Hey, Kelly? Could you record a recording of the history of Cinepix film properties? It sure doesn't even... Did you do it? Oh, sorry. Hey, Kelly? Hey, Kelly! I'm talking to you. Could you do a recording of Cinepix film properties?
No.
Because I can't. It takes a long time. My phone will die. Fine, I will put those shoes on. This is a little knockoff of a needle. On November 28th, 2022, Legendary Entertainment reached an agreement with Sony Pictures in which Sony would market, co-finance, and distribute Legendary's films with the exception of China, where Legendary East would handle all marketing and distribution on its movies. Sony would also handle home entertainment and movie and television distribution for the legendary titles it distributes. The partnership pact does not include Dune Part 2 and Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. As Legendary would continue to remain in business for Warner Bros. Pictures. Legendary would also continue to partner with other companies for streaming, such as Netflix, as Sony does not have a streaming service. I'm gonna steal some color. On October 2024, Legendary bought the Wanda Group out of its majority stake in the company for an undisclosed sum. In what its CEO Josh Grody describes as a transaction in a right place. In a right place, right time situation. A credit to both management and Apollo Global Management would share a roughly equal stake. Growth further stated that Legendary's board of directors would be evenly split between management and Apollo executives, although its creative team led by Mary Parent would remain unchanged, with the company attaining more flexibility to pursue mergers and acquisitions on a large scale. When we would have conversations around a large scale M&A, we would have to deal with the foreign ownership issue, and that's no longer an issue, and that's now no longer an issue. In November 2024, following the poor box office performances of their films such as The Machine and The Book of Clarence, the distribution deal between Legendary and Sony Pictures lapsed. On January 21st, 2025, the company entered into a joint venture with Patrick Wachsberger, Patrick Wachsberger to launch 193, a production and sales company which would develop and produce its own slate outside of Legendary. On January 11th, 2025. On July 11th, 2025, Legendary was eyeing a deal to acquire Lionsgate Studios, following the latter company's recent separation from Starz. On August 18th, 2025, it was announced that Legendary was also eyeing a multi-picture global theatrical distribution deal with Paramount Pictures. In September, they closed the deal, which was set for 3 years. On October 2025, Legendary's owner, Apollo, claimed and talked with Paramount Skydance about joining David Ellison's possible bid to buy Warner Bros. Discovery, a mega deal that could cost upward of $60 billion.